I've never traveled alone, I have social anxiety, and I'm legally blind. So, I decided to go take a trip to Chicago. So, like I said, I recently took a trip to Chicago for about 5 days, and it was a really interesting experience to say the least. I went to go visit a friend who I met last year online. She's visually impaired as well, so we decided to, hey, just meet up for the first time. And hey, I mean, she lives in Chicago, so I might as well visit a big city like that. It's a few hours before I fly. I am a little bit nervous and stuff like that because, first time doing this, but you know what? As soon as the initial jitters leave, then it's gonna be all good. I'm gonna go meet a friend, but I also want to just, kind of prove to myself that, like, hey, all that O&M training, all that stuff that you learned, prove to show to yourself that you can do this, you can travel anywhere you want. See, the thing is, I'd gotten orientation mobility training, aka cane training, last year, but the thing is, even though I've traveled on my own, it had been within, the area that I know. So I thought to myself, hey, let's just throw that safety net out the window completely and fly cross country. As far as my airport experience goes, I was kind of, not anticipating, just I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen because I read about getting the wheelchair treatment, pre-boarding, doing all that stuff. I'll get more into those accessibility details later on when I talk about coming back home. I will say that I did have a little bit of social anxiety when I first got to the airport because, just trying not to be overwhelmed by the whole thing, but I guess just trying to get the tasks done, kind of put, those thoughts aside. So it wasn't too bad. So the flight went smoothly and I landed at O'Hare. The thing is, I had booked my hotel close to Chicago's other airport, Midway Airport. Better be framed properly because otherwise... Oh wait, you gotta focus. Yeah, I made it. I cannot sleep on the plane if my life depended on it. So I flew from the Bay Area to O'Hare, which is busy airport to busier airport. Then I had to take the L train from O'Hare to downtown, make a transfer to the Orange Line to the other airport, and then find my way to the platform where the shuttle picks you up for the hotel. So it was a long process, but you know what? I wanted to do it anyway. Although I will say I got a lot of assistance. I was making a tricky transfer because I had to go from a lower level to an upper level, but I had to be at the right platform. Somebody who worked there saw me with my cane. They asked me if I needed help. I said yes, and they just helped me up to, the right platform, and they even said, hey, I can wait for you for the train if you want to. But since it was just a couple minutes away, I was like, no, I think I'm good. But still, lots of credit right there to folks like that. You know what? I'm pretty jealous of the L and your transit system, Chicago, because it's pretty dang effective, at least from what I could tell. If you happen to miss a bus or train, you didn't have to wait an eternity for the next one. And the views were pretty awesome. It's not every day that you get to be over street level going through downtown of any city. So of course I looked very touristy filming out the window. Sorry, Laura, for doing that so constantly. I'm on the L right now with my friend Laura. I don't know if she wants to be on camera or not.
Hi.
I guess she does. And where are we headed?
We're headed to Navy Pier.
We went to Navy Pier. It was pretty awesome though. You got to see Lake Michigan. There are lots of just gift shops there, places to eat. There's rides there. There's a boat tour there. I think there's a couple boat tours. Lots of stuff to do if you're just picking up a souvenir, just going there as a tourist. Another thing I have is vitiligo with skin conditions, so that means I have to cover up as much as I can when I'm outdoors. And I wore hats, sun hats, baseball caps, flannels like this. But you know what? I was good to go either way. We went to check out Millennium Park and the Bean as well. I think it has another name, not Cloud City, that's Star Wars, holy crap. Cloud Gate, there we go.
So we're at the Bean, which is Millennium Park, which is downtown the Loop, Chicago. And honestly, it looks like a giant jelly bean, but it probably isn't made of jelly beans.
And yeah, I got to touch it too. Out of curiosity, I was knocking on it, trying to see. It's wait, what's it made out of? Metal? Not made out of glass, is it? There are two historic baseball stadiums I want to see in my lifetime. One of them is Fenway Park in Boston. The other one is... So you can probably guess where I'm at. If not, wait, crap. Blind moment, take two. Not Wrigley Field. I know Cubs aren't my team, but you know what? I had to come over here because, hey, it's one of the two historic ballparks that I want to visit. So Laura's trying to get a shot of me in front of the sign.
I am.
Trying to get a picture, and we're both having the same problems. We can't get the sign because we can't see.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have two blind people trying to take a picture.
blind world problems.
We didn't get to go inside because, well, the Cubs were actually on the road the whole time I was there, and we didn't know that they were giving out tours until late. We were too late for that. Now, I know I eat healthy most of the time. I really do watch what I eat. Yeah, that went kind of out the window here. So this is a very, very touristy thing I'm doing. I know, but you know what? I'm here, might as well get myself a deep dish pizza. I'm at Giordano's with my friend Laura again.
I'm not getting a deep dish pizza.
She's not. No, she doesn't like pizza. And her friend Sarah. She has to be in the vlog, and of course, you know, I gotta fulfill that request. Okay, trying to figure out how to attack this properly. So, yeah, wish me luck. This is Portillo's. This is something very Chicago, and yes, I got myself a burger, fries. Of course, I got a little bit of water, but you know what? I also got some chocolate cake that they're known for. Okay, that's really good. Dear Portillo's, can you please serve your chocolate cake with a side of milk? And I don't mean just like a side of milk in a fancy glass or anything like that. Just give us the milk in those tiny little milk cartons. Sincerely, a guy from California who ended up really, really liking what he had over there. The only time I had a problem with my social anxiety over there was when I went to this music festival with Laura and her aunt, but that was just for a little while. I mean, it was just trying to get used to just the surroundings. I just took it all in and I started to relax. It was a pretty cool music festival too. It was like this 80s metal themed concert. It was like a carnival setting, so it was pretty cool. A few things I learned about Chicago so far. You do not put ketchup on your hot dogs, even though I don't eat hot dogs. You just don't do that over here. The Sears Tower. You do not call it the Willis Tower. Only tourists go to Navy Pier. You are going to eat at Portillo's eventually. If you are a White Cane user, you're gonna realize that there's a lot of uneven ground over here. And I've also realized that there's a lot of revolving doors for some reason. I don't know, Chicago seems to be the land of revolving doors. As far as accessibility goes, I think Chicago was pretty accessible, to be honest. Although the uneven pavement, like I said, it was kind of a pain. On my way back, yes, I took O'Hare, but this time I got a ride over there instead of taking the L. I did ask for the wheelchair this time because, you know what, I was a little late. I was not going to mess with O'Hare here. So if you happen to be visually impaired and go to the airport, you go to the front desk, mention that you have a disability, that you need assistance. So you'll wait a little while and then someone will show up with a wheelchair. Sometimes you have the option of declining the wheelchair, other times you have no choice. So they take you to TSA, to the front of the line. They just let you go through that process first. And then after you're done, you just get back on the wheelchair and they take you straight to your gate. The other nice thing about doing this is that you get to board before everybody or before most people do. So that is a nice thing. So yeah, hooray for disabled perks again. What I was surprised though is that when I landed, even before I exited the plane, there was somebody already assisting me. And this really, really helped when I got to O'Hare because I didn't know my way around. I was even hungry a little bit. This person took me to the food court real quick so I can get, you know, just something to take with me on the go for breakfast. They took me all the way to the L station because I had no clue where the L station was at O'Hare. If you want to know about anything else that happens when you travel blind and visually impaired, my friend Sam from the channel The Blind Life made a video. You can check it out right up here, so go check that out. Also, James Rath recently posted a Q&A video talking about being legally blind and traveling, so if you want to check out that video, I'm leaving a link to that video too. It's my last day in Chicago. It's pretty bittersweet because I really wish I could have stayed a little longer, but you know what? It gives me good reason to come back. A lot of personal growth has happened in this trip, and hopefully more personal growth happens with more adventures like this. Thank you, Chicago. It's been awesome, Chicago, and we'll hope to see you again in the future. This was a great confidence booster for me because I really didn't think I could do a lot of this stuff on my own. And yeah, I mean, I really want to just go out and travel again because now I know what to do, what not to do for next time. But I do highly recommend traveling for all those folks who are thinking of doing this, but they think that, well, because of my disability, I can't. Please go do it if you can afford to. And also, you don't have to do this alone. You can go with somebody. You can go with somebody. Just try to get out there, especially if you want to go to this place you've really been wanting to go. Get out there and just enjoy it. I just want to say thanks to my friend Laura, to her family, to her friends for just treating me well and for just, having this be a very memorable experience. So anyway, I know I rambled on a lot, but hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Jeez, you already screwed up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Later.